Champions League final took place on Saturday, where one team turned up for the event. Paris Saint-Germain 5, Internazionale 0, in what was I could only call a mauling, a butchering, an absolute. It was an absolute battering. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'll be honest with you guys. And as an Interisti, you know what I mean? I sat there in disbelief. I just said that my team's just not arrived. We're just not here. What's going on? I mean, Robinho, talk to me, blood. I mean, like, what the heck happened in that game?
No, what I witnessed was the most dominant final I think I've ever seen. Like, I've seen deserved winners, but this was something else.
Yeah.
Paris Saint-Germain battered these men from minute 1 to minute 90 so bad that there was no extra time. The ref said, "Nah, you're done here. Let's just wrap this up."
Respect for Italia again.
Yeah.
Good officiating. Good officiating, man.
That's a good officiating.
Let them die, man. They're dead.
I don't know what to say about Inter. I can say lots of things about PSG.
I think we should let's talk PSG because they won it, yeah, and deservedly so. Let's wax lyrical on PSG 5 minutes, and then we can talk 5 minutes on Inter. Who's got anything that they want to liquefy in this game?
Yeah, man. I said in the group chat before the game, if PSG win, then it is a win for football. It is a moral victory.
It's a scandalous comment. That's a scandalous comment. We'll get to that later, though. That's a scandalous.
No, because I know exactly what
scandalous comment.
You're gonna go, oh, the money and the Saudi and they pump. I wasn't talking about all of that. I was simply talking about on the pitch. Yeah, 11 against 11. What do I want to see from a football game? What do I want to see from football? And at the end of the day,
Oscar, they know exactly what you're talking about. They might just want to be political when it suits them. Yeah, that's all it is. When we talk about real jugging, that's some of the best football I've seen in a long time.
Facts. And I was furious from the semi because I really wanted to see Barca versus PSG. We didn't get that. And I said, there's no way we're going to get flipping, what's my man's name? Denzel Dumfries being man of the match in the final of the Champions League. I said, no, I'm not having that. So, or your boy be it? Lauti. I said, no. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
How?
Because you press mute.
You keep going on mute. I don't know what's going on.
I'm literally unmuted here. I don't understand what's going on.
You're not. Yeah, it's fine. You can talk now.
You can hear me now. I've done nothing. The thing is unmuted right here, live and direct. Don't call him Lauti. Show some respect.
I didn't win that name. That's what he told me his name is.
World Cup winner. Show some respect. Carry on.
Okay, yeah, but back to my point. I mean, like PSG, I've shown at every stage in this Champions League. I've watched them in all the knockout games, and they've shown that they're a side with good, just good football IQ. The passing about the midfield. They've got free-flowing attackers. They're not stagnant. They're not boring. They're entertaining to watch, good on the eye. And they've got a lot of young, exciting talent that is able to move the ball and play nicely. I mean, we talk a lot about how teams want to focus on big stoppers. And, Arsenal have your Declan Rice. I don't know why I mentioned Declan Rice. But the idea that you've got João Neves, Vitinha, and they're just popping the ball about nicely. They're very intelligent players. And I remember we've had conversations about this in Erne's shop about players like Jorginho and whether they get the credit they deserve. But winning on the big stage is a big shift in how people view the sport, I think. Just like in the same way when Pep won, his first titles with Barcelona, it shifted in a lot of people's minds how the game should be played going forward. And I just think this game is a key one because if Inter won, the winners write the story at the end of the day. If Inter won, it would have been viewed very differently to how it is now with PSG winning. And I think you'll see an effect of that in the transfer market and certain clubs and how the owners think and how the mentality of the clubs are. Because it goes by what wins.
Listen, I totally agree in the sense that, PSG was so deserving of this victory. They absolutely destroyed Inter. They were so good. They played good football. And people talked about this isn't the same PSG that we saw earlier in the season, this, that, and the other. And yeah, we saw a team, even like when they played Arsenal. I remember just the fact that they just kept the ball. And I put in the group chat when we were watching the game, live. that this is a Spanish side. Like I'm watching Spain here in 2008 and 2010 because it was just them with the ball only. I mean, Ousmane Dembele was pressing, guys, and I mean pressing
like a hawk.
He was on the goal line. Do you know what I mean? Just hugging Jan Sommer. I'm thinking I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, you know, credit to them. I mean, they're fully deserved winners of this competition. But you know what's crazy about that though? They lost 5 games in the Champions League this season. 5, and have won the Champions League.
And one of them was at Villa Park.
Question needs to be asked.
0 to Arsenal, by the way.
Oh,
What was that for?
No, you know what it is, Adrian. Yeah,
What was that for?
That was fantastic timing.
So good. It was so good. What the heck was that for?
Adrian just sitting there being a mastermind, just going on Google and just finding things.
He's never attacked Arsenal. He's never attacked me on this podcast before. He's just.
No, Peter, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
I'm taking it personally. First of all,
Fair
my team
enough.
lost on Saturday. You know what I mean? And then you went to throw Arsenal with that. Jeez, what are you doing to me?
Fairs, man.
That's a Percy Ingle. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but what I was saying, I even said at the same. I said, now PSG were a team that fully grew in the competition. Like at the start, we were questioning them. Like you said, they were just lounging in the bottom half of the league phase, and then the last couple of games started
it's
to pick
always
it up.
questions, isn't it? Because we've been here since 2012. You know,
don't you love it that it's just without the Galacticos, if you will? Okay, albeit there's still some top quality.
I think that's cap, by the way.
What do you mean?
Donnarumma's a Galactico.
That's why I put it like this because there's Dembele, there's Donnarumma, there's Kvaratskhelia.
I want a PSG to win, but we're not gonna romanticize it the way man are doing, because I feel like, you know, you've basically spent your way from 2012 to now, and the biggest Galactico has left, and people are pretending like it's Ander Herrera in midfield.
no, but the biggest 3 have left.
No, but my point is, like, it's like they didn't win the Champions League the way Liverpool won the league in Champions League in 2019. Like Sadio Mane,
I still have 75 million quid.
Sadio Mane. No. My point is, like Van Dijk is not a Galactico when he goes to Liverpool. He's from Southampton.
But none of those boys.
He's the most expensive defender, though.
No. My point is, to me, a Galactico is you're like the best player in your club, and you've gone to like a team that's definitely challenging. Liverpool were not.
Surely, guys. We should know what this. You know, when Madrid, you know, made their ones back in early 2000, Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, Beckham.
It's the biggest names going to the biggest team to challenge.
Yeah. For me, the Galacticos at PSG were obviously Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, and then you can throw in.
But I think we should go before.
Zlatan.
Thank you, Adrian. I think we should go before.
Do you know what? But I feel like this is
this team with Zlatan, though.
I feel like this is a Zlatan PSG more so than what we had previous.
Thank you.
So I'm not going to go like it's Galactico as such, but I'm saying like this is like a Zlatan. It's not. We're not going to go on like it's the French. It's the friggin'. It's Clairefontaine.
I'm not saying that. Vitinha, Ruiz, and João Neves are Galacticos. I'm saying Donnarumma is. I'm saying Hakimi is.
Yeah.
Those guys were big dogs before they came to thing.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And so I'm saying that there's a narrative that it's a grass to grace thing, and that's not true.
Yeah. No. I definitely agree with you on that. I mean,
some players agree. Other players like
Ousmane Dembele, for lack of a better phrasing, I don't mean it, but for lack of a better phrasing, is a failed wonder kid.
Yeah, no.
That went to Barcelona for at least 3 seasons, and 1 year he banged, and the other seasons he was injury prone.
Yeah.
Let's not make it look like he's not played at Dortmund, on the verge of being a Galactico, went to Barcelona, and it's like, oh, Dembele's this. Dembele's not. He's not flipping Anthony Martial. The baller.
Yeah.
No, but to that point, though, I think someone like Ousmane Dembele, I think that's kind of that's where that romantic sort of idea about this PSG side comes from, because it's like that's a guy who for years and years and years he was touted to be this great guy, and he never was, right? And then you know how Peter's like, we're seeing this guy press now, and it's like, well, it's almost like a not necessarily rags to riches because he had money before, right?
It's a cultural shift for a big club, but I don't want us to make a narrative as if it's a Man United team. No, that's even like a Newcastle team that's won the Champions League.
It's not that. It's definitely
no one could ever do that. No one can.
But Oscar, they're talking like
pumps money. The pumps money.
Oscar, they're talking. All I've heard the last 2 days is Mbappe's left. There's no more Galacticos. That's not true. That's not true.
But there's none on his level. There weren't any on his level.
No, but like Figo and R9 are not on the same level.
I don't know.
The same level.
Ernest, Figo was on that Ronaldo level in 2000.
Is it? Yeah.
In 2003.
Well, Figo joined in what, 2000?
Yeah,
2001.
Figo joined 2000. Figo joined 2000.
Yeah, 2000 sounds right. Millennium sounds right.
Was the best player in the world when he joined Real Madrid. He was the best in the world.
Was Figo being nominated for Ballon d'Or in 2000?
Say again.
Top 3? Was Figo being nominated for Ballon d'Or in the year 2000?
Don't know. Let me check that.
Did Figo not win a Ballon d'Or?
I was gonna say I thought he won a Ballon d'Or, to be honest.
When?
I'll check.
I don't know.
It might have been the year that Barcelona sold him. I genuinely.
I don't know if Galactico is the word, because for me, I don't look at PSG as Galacticos, but I don't look at them as grassroots. The only real person I'm looking at that like that.
Sorry.
The only person I'm looking at that like this guy is from the streets is probably Désiré Doué, who is a player that I love. Like, he has come from, what was he? Previously at Lille and also,
Yeah, he won in 2000.
But for me, I just, you know what, for a team that I don't think anyone thought, I remember when we looked at the last four, I think we all predicted that now PSG are the weakest of the four. That's what we all thought. And the fact that they've gone and only gone won it.
I didn't think. I thought Arsenal was the weakest of the four.
Okay.
The reason I said that is because you've been to the Champions League final in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think, but the Arsenal beating Real Madrid threw their stock high. That's what
all-time high.
Yeah.
It's because we beat them before.
Yeah, but
and the manner as well. Was it 5-1 in the end?
They were the champions, weren't they? So like it's
But my perspective, I'm in the minority.
I was nervous.
I was in the minority where I thought like this Madrid loss is not a surprise because of the haram we've seen in the last couple of years. But yes, when the second free kick went in, I was shocked.
Man said when the second plane hit the tower, I was like,
oh dear. There he goes. There he goes.
There he goes. Let's talk Luis Enrique as well, man. What a mastermind he's put together. What, Oscar? What do you want to do?
I was like, we should move on. I don't want to go back to what you just said.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
No, he wants to talk ball. I want to talk ball,
guys. The other narrative that I didn't like seeing after PSG won was everybody consistently talking about Mbappe. Like, oh, Mbappe, what's Mbappe thinking? Mbappe must be so upset. Mbappe must be, this and that. And I'm just like, bro, Mbappe was there. He tried. He's now at Real Madrid. Like, why do people want to make this
such lazy analysis, man?
People are like, oh, Mbappe's legacy is now like tainted, or because he left and they won it. It's like, what?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
If anything, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I do believe that he would have wanted to win it with PSG. It was his boyhood club, and the fact that it failed. It failed. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, as much as he would love to win it with Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, I think, was always the pinnacle that he wanted, but I genuinely would think he would be sitting there salty today. I'm sure he would.
Because also, in a player's mind, right? If you can be the catalyst of a club entering the conversation, and bear in mind, when did PSG get formed in 1970? So if Mbappe was the guy to get them there first, it does look nicer in the light. To be fair, it does.
So do you think he would have wanted to win some rings at Madrid and then go back to Cleveland and get the ring at the end of his career.
He still could. Listen, that's never off the table. But yeah. Look, he'll be salty for a year, win it next year, then he'll
Hey, we'll win it next year, and then he don't care. You know what I mean?